Good evening, everyone. So here we'll discuss about COP29. So COP29 took place in Baku, Azerbaijan from 11 November to 22 November 2024, and UN Climate Change Conference take place every year, and it is where the world comes together to agree on the actions to address all the climate crisis and to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. And it is the world's only multilateral decision making forum on climate change where from the earth everybody comes together. And we can see here that the first COP meeting was held in Berlin, Germany in March 1995. And in COP, we have two zones. One is the blue zone and the other is the green zone. So the green zone is more like informal space and it includes NGOs, private sector, youth groups, civil society. And the blue zone is more like formal conference space and it includes all the world leaders, then representatives from 198 parties, official observers, media. And the green zone is managed by the COP's host country, while the blue zone is managed by the UN climate change. So here we can see some important COP meetings. So in 1997, COP 3 was held in Kyoto, Japan, and it is very important because here uh, a treaty was signed, like a legally binding treaty, where the developed countries had to sign an agreement to reduce emission targets. And COP8 is important because it is held in New Delhi in 2022. After that, this COP, the COP 2024, which is COP29, and it took place in Azerbaijan, Baku. And COP29 was an important moment for climate adaptation. One key outcome was the provision for the establishment of a support program for the implementation of national adaptation plans for the least developed countries. So let's take a look at all the takeaways and agreements. So at COP29, a significant agreement on climate finance was reached, which included setting a new target to mobilize at least $300 billion annually by 2035 to support developing countries in climate mitigation and adaptation effort. So this replaces the prior $100 billion annual target set for 2020 to 25. And additionally, the agreement aims to scale up global climate finance to $1.3 trillion by 2035 from all sources, public and private. So, a roadmap was introduced to guide progress towards this goal, emphasizing financial access for vulnerable nations. Another important outcome of COP29 is that countries can use carbon markets under Article 6 to transfer credits they earn from reducing greenhouse gas emissions to help other countries meet their climate targets. So, the Article 6 of the Paris Agreement encourage countries to aim higher in reducing emissions, cover more sectors and lower cost of cutting emissions. This means they can help reduce global emissions at a faster pace. So this year in UN climate change, this COP29, so there was a lot of talk about carbon markets. Countries agreed strong standards for a UN carbon market on the very day one. Then the third sector that COP29 focused was driving gender just energy transition through financing and capacity building in the global south. So this is about empowering women for climate resilience in the Pacific. So the session aimed to highlight the importance of women's participation and leadership in resilience building at national and local levels, and the role of gender in climate change focal points. After that, number four is fully operational of loss and damage fund. So at COP29, the loss and damage fund was a significant focus, building on the progress from COP28. So the fund now fully operational and marking it as a historical milestone in climate negotiations, and it is designed to support vulnerable countries facing irreversible impacts from climate changes such as rising sea levels and extreme weather events. The fund aims to scale financial contributions significantly, moving from pledges of $700 million to the billions needed annually. Actually, parties made significant progress at COP27 in Egypt and COP28, which was held in UAE, by establishing and providing for the operationalization of the fund. But this year, that is in COP29, it worked intensively with the fund board and the World Bank, and they decided to operationalize this loss and damage fund. Now let's see where COP29 took place, its location, that is in Azerbaijan, and the significance of the place. So we can see here that Azerbaijan is situated exactly in the west of Caspian Sea. In the north, we have Russia. In the south, we have Iran. In the west of Azerbaijan, we have Armenia and Turkey. And in the east, it is Caspian Sea. So the Caspian Sea lies to its east, and it's a coastal nation with significant maritime importance. Also, we can say that Azerbaijan's economy is heavily reliant on oil and gas exports, which contradicts the goal of COP. I mean, the main goal of COP is to reduce global reliance on fossil fuels, but Azerbaijan's economy mainly depend on petroleum and gas exports. So critics argue that hosting COP in a country with a history of promoting fossil fuels send mixed signals about the global climate agenda. So here is a summary of all the important outcomes of COP29. So that's all. Thank you.